Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about a very beautiful wild tree which is native to this state, and it's so easy to grow that its small sprouts are found almost everywhere around here. This tree is called River Tamarind tree. Here it is. This tree is found growing out in the wild by itself almost everywhere, by the sides of roads, small pathways, out in the wild, forest, all places. And as has been the purpose of this series, let's explore more on why I feel that this is such a good source of permaculture inspiration within nature. Now, first things first, as we all know, one of the most important aspects of any plant within permaculture is to be a good companion plant. So in this video, while I'll cover this tree, I'll also simultaneously show you this tree all around my hiking trail and on the highway itself, so you can see for yourself what an amazing companion plant this tree is. This state in particular makes most of its living either for farming, well, monoculture farming, but that's a rant for another day, or else from tourism because of the beautiful mountains that we are literally living on here. So this river tamarind tree is a very valuable tree in permaculture, especially for the ecology of this state and due to its multiple uses. It plays a crucial role in reforestation, soil improvement, and agroforestry systems. It provides fodder, firewood, even construction materials, and helps improve soil health, making it a beneficial addition to diverse, sustainable farming systems. See, in this scene, somebody had chopped down this entire tree, probably for its timber, but new leaves have started sprouting from its stump. As all parts of this tree are edible, so this is a versatile tree, serving as a source of fodder for not only livestock, pollinators, and small animals, but also as a source of food for humans. Its leaves and pods are rich source of protein. Specifically, the young leaves, pods, and the flower buds are often eaten raw or else steamed or added to soups, salads, stir fries, and multiple types of rice dishes. These seeds, they can be consumed either raw or else cooked. They can even be dried and used as a coffee substitute or even used in multiple types of spices. These young leaves have a sour taste, which is a desirable flavor element in cooking. These are Himalayan golden raspberry that you see growing here, along with this river tamarind tree. In this specific scene, if you look carefully, behind this river tamarind tree is a tree of heaven, and behind that there is another huge growth of river tamarind. Now this tree has a very deep root structure, which helps in preventing soil erosion, which is particularly important in the hilly terrain of this state. Its extensive root system helps stabilize soil, preventing landslides in areas prone to heavy rainfall and wind. This makes it a valuable plant for land reclamation and reforestation projects, particularly in degraded or deforested areas. See, in this scene, not only do we have River Tamarind tree in the front, but the entire background, that entire layer is filled with River Tamarind tree. In addition, its root system also helps in fixing the nitrogen content of the soil and thus improving soil fertility and structure. These scenes are from the side of highway. I have to walk around 3 kilometers before I can reach my trail. But that's okay because it gives me the opportunity to show you that this tree is present in all kinds of terrains and environments. And one of the reasons why it's so readily available everywhere is because it's so easy to propagate and establish, making it accessible for permaculture practitioners. See, now in this scene we have River Tamarind. At the bottom of this River Tamarind we have sheep sorrels. Towards the left, this green bush which you are seeing, this is crofton weed. Along with crofton weed we have sheep sorrel, and then again another bunch of River Tamarind. This is a very fast growing tree, and its growth is even more encouraged by the pollinators dropping its seeds all around. And the healthy soil of this area, especially combined with water availability, especially these days as we are experiencing pre-monsoon showers and sunlight, because, well, technically it is still summers, so this tree within a few years can quickly reach its full mature height. Especially in the initial years, it can quickly establish itself in new areas, making it an excellent choice for reforestation projects. And then once it has got a good hold of the soil in the initial years, then the growth slows down a bit and it grows patiently. Look at this scene. I was finally able to capture a tree in full growth. The height of this tree must have been around 80 to 100 feet, in fact. It was extremely tall, and even in width, its diameter must be around 40 to 50 feet for sure. This entire scene, this entire screen on this scene, it's a single tree. Look at the height and the width of this tree. More than half of this tree was on the lower side of the road, and there was no means to climb down, so I wasn't able to capture properly, but I tried my best. We have these stone walls over here built besides the road in order to prevent the hills from falling down. And look over here, I spotted a river tamarind tree growing just like that on top of this stone wall. And if you look carefully, along with this river tamarind, the tree of heaven is also growing. Both of them are growing from the same spot. And just like that, out in the wild, nobody has planted them, just normal pollinators going about their business, and they drop the seeds and these trees propagate. Walking little bit ahead on the road and see we have another river tamarind growing at the top of these stone walls. So I wasn't really exaggerating when I told you that these trees are present everywhere. If not the full grown trees, then at least baby trees are present all around. And in the background, these trees which you see, these are eucalyptus trees. I've made a video on eucalyptus trees. You can have a look at it. In that video, I have covered these trees along this trail. This is how these stone walls are made here. In the regional language of the state, these stone walls are called danga, and you can see they leave holes in between these stone walls. This is for rainwater that falls on the hills behind these stone walls, so that the rainwater, as it pours down the hills, it has a means to come out without breaking the hill or without breaking these stone walls. And it doesn't block these walls. And if you look carefully, these walls, the thickness of these walls, it's sort of triangular in shape. From the bottom, these can be between 2 to 3 feet wide, and from the top, these are about 1 to 1.5 feet wide. And although this tree thrives in well-drained soils and full sunlight, but it can also tolerate poor soils and drought conditions, which is also true for this state as we get rainfall only in monsoon season, which lasts for about 4 to 6 weeks, and then a handful of sporadic showers in winters. Otherwise, it is mostly dry with moderate temperature. Now in this scenes, in the forefront we have river tamarind, and in the background we have eucalyptus trees, and besides this these are honeysuckles, and behind honeysuckle we have jacaranda tree. Not only the spreading of seeds by pollinators, but also the deep root system of these trees allows it to access water and nutrients from deeper soil layers, making it a resilient plant in arid regions. These are Bradford pear growing along with the honeysuckles. In your forest or garden patch, this can also be used as a windbreak or a shade tree, where it helps to protect crops and improve soil fertility. Look over here, you can gauge the width of the stone wall. See how wide it is? And it's in sort of a triangular shape. It's wider from the bottom and a bit narrower, although still much wide from the top. And behind this we have river tamarind growing, and this bush that you see here, this is Himalayan golden raspberry. This river tamarind, it can also be planted along the perimeter of your fields as a hedge, or along roadsides or driveways, or even in parks or public spaces for its fast growth and low maintenance requirements. And because this is a completely edible tree, not at all harmful to humans or children or pets or other wild animals, so it's a good tree to have in public spaces. This scene we start with a baby river tamarind, and look at all the wild vegetation around this tree. And this in the background is jacaranda tree. And just look at the canopy of this tree. Mesmerizing. Gorgeous scenes, isn't it? And a river tamarind tree again at the end. Now in these scenes, these purple flowers that you see here, these are the flowers of jacaranda tree, and these yellow flowers are the yellow bell trees, and in between you can spot the river tamarind tree. I'll explain to you how all the trees are growing here. So this jacaranda tree, this is the largest tree here. It's forming the highest canopy. See, the tallest flower, purple flowers at the top, those are jacaranda flowers. Then below this tree, we have this yellow bell tree. Below this yellow bell tree, we have the river tamarind tree, which is, it's not a fully grown tree, but still it's taller than a baby tree. Below the river tamarind, we have this Mrs. Wilson's barberry shrub, and underneath this, we have the ground where we will just see sheep sorrels and different types of weeds and grass growing. Isn't this so amazing? It's like all the zones of permaculture forest present at one place. What a beautiful scene, and nobody has planted these, nobody is tending to these, nobody is caring for these. These are just growing by themselves. Whatever nature wants to do, it's doing here. And what an amazing scene, what an amazing design. Better than any permaculture design that I could have seen anywhere. Just imagine putting down a sheet here and sitting underneath this amazing canopy of all these gorgeous flowers. Look at these fallen flowers and imagine having a picnic there or just reading a book and just enjoying all the gorgeousness around you. This tree to the right, this is an eastern red cedar tree. And towards the right of this eastern red cedar, we have a huge growth of Mrs. Wilson's barberry bush growing. And all of these trees and plants are growing out in the wild by themselves. Nobody has planted them, just pollinators spreading the seeds everywhere, and these are growing. See these bushes towards the right? This is Mrs. Wilson's bush. And towards the trunk of this tree, you see a small baby plant growing. I'm not 100% sure, but that looks like a wild goose plum to me, which will eventually grow into a huge tree. And underneath all this, we have loads of baby tamarind tree growing and sheep sorrel. This river tamarind tree, this is a long-lived plant capable of thriving for several decades. And while, like any other tree, its lifespan might be influenced by environmental factors, soil quality, and maintenance practices, but with proper care, it can continue to grow and provide benefits for many years. Look at this amazing scene. These are yellow bells in the background, and all these are river tamarind trees. And towards the left, we have a huge eucalyptus tree, and in the center, this behind the plant which you are seeing, this is winter jasmine. And towards the left of this river tamarind, see this tiny petal, sorry, these tiny leaves. These are tree of heaven. To be able to grow between so much vegetation and so many even bigger trees, this river tamarind is a very hardy tree, and with regular maintenance like pruning, fertilization, and watering during dry period, its growth and longevity can be immensely enhanced. One of the most significant ecological benefits of river tamarind is its ability to fix nitrogen in the soil. Through a symbiotic relationship with naturally occurring bacteria, this plant converts atmospheric nitrogen into a form that the plants can easily use. This process it enriches the soil, reducing the need for chemical fertilizers and in turn supporting a sustainable agriculture. I'm pointing towards the river tamarind tree, by the way. You'll be seeing my index finger lot many times now. See, in this scene in the background, we have jacaranda tree, and where this white arrow is pointing, those are the river tamarind trees. Now, leaves of both these trees are a bit similar, but how you can distinguish? The jacaranda tree has these flaps, green color flaps. These are round in shape, and these are the seed pods. This is present only in jacaranda tree, and while in the river tamarind tree you will have these elongated pods for the seeds. So look, in this scene all these are jacaranda baby trees. Then we have cactus plant which is edible. Then this is tree of heaven, and this is naturally growing aloe vera plant. How amazing is that? And right besides this, we have a river tamarind. No doubt, wherever you see this river tamarind plant, you have so much vegetation and different trees growing all around because of its nitrogen fixing properties in the soil. Just how absolutely amazing is that, isn't it? So, if you have an infertile land or if your land is barren with no growth, especially in the early days when we get our land, we can plant these trees randomly all throughout our forest so that eventually our land throughout the forest is fixed. See, in this scene, somebody they cut down a large branch of this river tamarind tree. This is a river tamarind branch here, and they have put it horizontally here, and they are using it as a temporary hedgerow for their driveway. What an innovative idea, isn't it? Look at the size of this branch. Now that's rural living for you. Now, in these scenes, in the background, all these are river tamarind, and in the forefront, all these bushes that you see, this is winter jasmine. And this smaller bush underneath this is Egyptian carissa. And in the background, this is winter jasmine all around here. This winter jasmine is a yellow flower and it's a climber, and as the name suggests, it blooms in winters. Wow, and in the winters, this must look so amazing. Entire road covered with yellow colored flowers. You know what? Do you want to see how winter jasmine looks in the winters? Well, when it's blooming, it's such a beautiful plant. I really want you to see how it looks. Let me insert some clippings I had taken in winters of this plant. Wait, here it is. Look how absolutely stunning it looks, isn't it? Now, this is beauty. and all growing out in the wild by itself. The nitrogen fixing ability of this tree and its capability to increase the fertility of the soil is another amazing point in favor of this tree, especially for this state, because technically this entire state is a forest area. Once upon a time, like in the olden days, it was almost cut off from the rest of the country because traveling to this state is not easy because it's entirely mountainous terrain, you know. So during the time of Britishers, this state used to be the winter capital. When we were colonized during those days, this state was established as the winter capital for the Britishers because of its amazing flora and the exquisite scenery. I think, in a way, that brought the state to limelight and encouraged development here. In those days, otherwise, it would have remained completely isolated, which maybe in today's day and age, when people seek isolation and peace, won't have been such a bad thing. But every era has its advances, its advantages, and setbacks. Hindsight is 50-50 after all. Anyways, moving on. I finally reached my trail and now the uphill climb begins. So we saw at the side of the highway at how many places this River Tamarind tree appears, and now I'll show you that even on this trail out in the wild how frequent River Tamarind tree is. So over here, right off the bat, we have eucalyptus tree, wild goose plum, tree of heaven, and silky oak tree, and right over here, river tamarind. Wherever I'm pointing, these are river tamarind trees, okay? Because we've been getting pre-monsoon showers and it's so lush and so green everywhere that it's difficult to distinguish between the leaves of the trees from afar. And these scenes are from early morning. See over here, there is one more river tamarind tree. This pruned tree is silky oak tree, and behind it, right in the middle, we have river tamarind, and towards the left and the right, we have eucalyptus trees. And to the left of that is wild goose plums. And here to the absolute far left, again river tamarind. This is the tree that I was showing in the corner. See this hill, it has been cut down to expand the highway, and in the background you can see this exposed soil, exposed rock of this hill. So towards the bottom of this slope, they have built this stone wall which you can see towards the left, but they cannot build this stone wall for the entire length of this mountain, right? So slowly and slowly vegetation is growing on this slope. So this river tamarind tree over here, see, it grew by itself, which is a good thing because now it can bind this exposed rocks and soil in its root system and prevent landslides. In addition to this tree's canopy and the dense foliage provides shade for other plants and animals, contributing to a more balanced ecosystem. It also provides habitat and food for various wildlife species. Its leaves and pods are a great source of fodder for livestock, while its flowers attract bees and other pollinators, supporting biodiversity in agriculture and natural ecosystems. If you observe here, the leaves of this tree are closed off because it was raining, so these tiny leaves they have closed off. Such a unique characteristic. See, this is how the buds of this flower looks like. This spherical shaped bud before the flower has blossomed. These are all river tamarind tree, eucalyptus tree, and silky oak tree in the background. And in the forefront, we have evergreen roses and Mrs. Wilson's barberry bush. Now, while in this state, this tree grows easily out in the wild everywhere, but it also holds cultural and economic importance in many regions where it is cultivated intentionally and commercially. See this tree, this is wattlebrush tree. And to the left was river tamarind as I was pointing out, and all these are silky oak trees. River tamarind, it is often used in traditional medicine, agroforestry systems, and as a source of timber and fuel. In some cultures, parts of this tree are used in traditional medicine to treat ailments such as fever, diarrhea, and infections. However, be careful not to consume it in large quantities without proper medical supervision, okay? See in this scene, the river tamarind tree starts right from here where this arrow is pointing, and then this entire layer is covered with river tamarind in the forefront and in the background as well. It almost seems like a colony of river tamarind trees over here. Look how thick the growth is. And besides this river tamarind, to the left we have tree of heaven, and further to the left we have pine trees. Look at the trunk of this tree. Multiple baby tamarind trees are already growing. And even in the background, where my finger was pointing, deep in the thicket, we have more river tamarind trees. See, can you see the droplets on the branches? So beautiful, isn't it? It was raining all night. These leaves that you see to the right, these fine branches, these are evergreen roses. Let's continue our uphill climb. I love this trail because in early morning hours, very few people come here. I like the peace and quiet, and that for few hours you can escape seeing any human beings because this country overall is a very crowded place, isn't it? It's difficult to have a moment to yourself. Now, in these scenes, this is a wild pomegranate tree onto which an evergreen rose climber has climbed on. I've done separate videos on both wild pomegranate and evergreen rose. You can check it out if you want. And right besides it, this over here, we have river tamarind tree. Look at the size of this tree. It must have been at least 30 to 40 feet tall from the bottom till the top. See, someone has chopped few branches over here, it seems. The wood of this tree, it is also used for making furniture, tools, and charcoal. So nice, no? Especially if you are in a cold region like over here in the winters, it snows. So we can chop or prune this tree regularly and use the branches as firewood without fear that it'll take too long for this tree to regrow, because this is a rapidly growing tree and it has ability to produce multiple crops every year, making it an economically viable plant for farmers, permaculture enthusiasts and rural communities. See, we have river tamarind growing on one side of the path, and right besides this river tamarind, you can see this pine tree to the right. And to the left side, we have silky oak in the far background, then tree of heaven, and this is banana tree. And in the bottom, we have hydrangeas. So beautiful, isn't it? And right besides it, we have this is daisy fleabane. This is sort of a weed actually. And these are golden dewdrop shrub. And in the background, we have pine tree forest. And in the forefront, look at this huge growth of river tamarind tree. Now we are in the wild area, so pine trees will be everywhere. And this besides this river tamarind, this is tree of heaven, and okay, in the background that is a baby pine tree. This is all weed because it grows naturally here, but I'm not interested. This is purple top vervain. Look how beautiful it is, and this is entirely edible. So nice, no? In the background, we have evergreen rose, which has climbed onto Mrs. Wilson's shrub. And to the left, these are nettles, which are also edible and extremely nutritious, by the way. Continuing on this same trail, see, we have a baby river tamarind tree growing out in the wild here. I'll climb onto this small hillock and show you the view. The quality of this video is bad, but in reality, it was so beautiful. Oh my god, early morning hours. It's summers right now, right? But after heavy rainfall, the temperature has cooled down, and in the morning, it was so mesmerizing. See, look here. All these are daisy fleabane and purple top vervain flowers. I have done a video called I Walk with Ghosts. In that video, I have covered this small hillock in detail. See in this small portion how many types of trees we have. So over here we have river tamarind. Then this is Egyptian carissa shrub. Then this is tree of heaven. And these heart-shaped leaves which you see to the right, this is Punjab fig. To the left we have Himalayan golden raspberry. To its left further, this is loquat tree and surrounded by tree of heaven. In the background, that the tree which you can see, that is silky oak, and the entire canopy is pine trees. This is again purple top vervain, and we also have sheep sorrel here, and this is river tamarind. The leaves that you see to the left of this river tamarind is crofton weed and sheep sorrel, and this shrub that you see to the right, this is golden honey drop. This purple top vervain is so beautiful, isn't it? And behind this golden honey drop shrub, we can spot this tree of heaven. Yeah, the scene offers better view. This is yellow bell plant, a very large tree of yellow bell flowers. And in the right, we can spot multiple silky oak trees. And over here we have river tamarind tree growing along with oleanders. Now oleanders are so toxic, but over here both this river tamarind and oleander plants are growing together. How wonderful, isn't it? This river tamarind is such a remarkable plant that offers numerous ecological, economic, and cultural benefits. Its rapid growth, nitrogen fixing abilities, and versatility make it a valuable resource for reforestation, soil improvement, and sustainable agriculture. The scene is so beautiful, no? The pods of this river tamarind along with this bright, radiant flowers. And in the background, we have this absolutely gorgeous Himalayan pine forest. As we cross these oleander flowers and move ahead, this is the scene on the trail. Look at this huge river tamarind growth here. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought somebody is intentionally cultivating them here. Because of the continuous rainfall, no, everything is so bright green. To see it in real, it's everything is so fresh, so beautiful, really. I love taking these walks. Morning walks after overnight showers offers a sight to behold, really. By understanding the unique nature of this tree, we can harness its benefits while mitigating its risks, ensuring that this resilient plant continues to contribute positively to ecosystems and communities around the world. Because of these rains, no, see everywhere we can see baby trees are popping up. Permaculture emphasizes designing systems that mimic natural ecosystem, and river tamarind, with its ability to improve soil, provide multiple resources, and offering shelter, aligns well with all these principles. Look at these dry pine needles. So wonderful, no? I love dry pine needles. I love slipping on dry pine needles when I'm alone, not when I'm with other people. Let's go to the other side of this road and I'll show you some more river tamarind trees. Right off the bat, we have this purple jacaranda tree, river tamarind tree, and silky oak tree. These three trees are flowing together here. Beautiful, beautiful scene, really. There is also this wild pomegranate besides these marigold flowers, And this is golden honey drop again. Look at the size of this silky oak tree. And right besides this tree, we have this bamboo tree growing. Look, so wonderful, isn't it, out in the wild air? I absolutely love how you simply have to just go out in the nature and have a hike, and you get so much inspiration for all the various types of different permaculture designs. And most of these things are edible. I've done a video called Trail Foraging. Have a look at that video. At least 80 to 90% of the wild plants over here are all edible. Beautiful marigold flowers. In the background, we have River Tamarind and Jacaranda tree. What amazing growth, isn't it? And this plant, which you can see towards the left, this is called agave. This is a great medicinal plant, especially if you have like burn wounds or rashes and all on your skin. This is a great plant to help your skin. This was such a beautiful day to capture all these scenes. I mean, it was beautiful for me to experience it, although I think it is not well reflected on camera because of the lighting and all. But I believe that in a permaculture setting, this river tamarind tree, it can be integrated into diverse plantings, contributing to a more resilient and productive system. As we continue on that road, look at these scenes. These sheep sorrels are growing on this rock, and at the top of it, we have a wild pomegranate tree growing and Mrs. Wilson's shrub. And to the left, we have this river tamarind tree growing. And look at these mountains in the background, so beautiful. Somebody on those mountains must be looking at our direction and also saying, look at those mountains, so beautiful, isn't it? And pointing towards us. This is how this river tamarind looks. It's growing on a rock. Like I was saying, this is a very resilient and hardy plant. It doesn't really require any special prerequisites for growing. And right on the opposite side of this road, we have another river tamarind. You see this right bang in the middle. Isn't this such a beautiful scene? I have covered various walks in this pine forest. If you go to my hiking playlist, you will see multiple videos there. If you want, you can check them out. See this river tamarind tree? So beautiful, isn't it? And right besides this river tamarind, we have this tree of heaven. Right besides this tree of heaven to the right, we have Mrs. Wilson's barberry bush, which is an edible plant. In the background, we have all these beautiful pine forests. And besides this, Mrs. Wilson's, we have a Punjab fig growing, which is again an edible plant. One last look at our wonderful, beautiful trail. See these round thingies around these leaves? These are the buds of this river tamarind. This is how the buds look like. So cute, isn't it? And when these buds blossom, from afar its flower looks like the eucalyptus flower because it doesn't have petals, it has sort of strings or fibers for flower. So I hope this video and this trail and all the trees and plants that we saw here have been as much a source of inspiration to you as they are for me. While I do not have any land to grow my own permaculture food forest right now, but all this wild area around me and all this wild forest around me is a source of inspiration for me. So, as always, until next time, happy planting!